black trucks.
What's in your mind, powered by SchwannCadillac.com. I'm Steve Bakken on KFire 550, 99.7 FM in Bismarck and Mandan. It is What's on Your Mind. We are broadcasting from North Dakota, the North Dakota Petroleum Council, and joining us now, Ron Ness, President of the North Dakota Petroleum Council. Ron, what a great event you've got going here today.
Well, it never hurts to have a summer in September in Medora for a great event, because we've got so many people here that if we didn't have the nice weather outside, I don't know how we'd shuttle them around and have them all stand outside on here and there to get people in and out. But it's been a great event.
Give us a little background on this event. You at the North Dakota Petroleum Council have been at the forefront of pushing forward what is going on as far as economic development in North Dakota with our energy resources in the oil field, the Bakken Oil field. Give us a little build-up of where this started and where this event is today.
Well, this is our 31st annual meeting as an organization, and we actually started in about 1952, 1 year after oil was discovered in North Dakota. And of course, we're a trade association, so we represent the interests of our members and our membership. That's a lot of new interests to represent. We have gone from about 200 members 4 years ago. Today, we're over 400 members, and likewise, we used to have in 2002 and 2000, we'd have about 100 or 150 people at these meetings. Today, we're over 500 here in North Dakota, and just a great crowd here. Really, people from all aspects of North Dakota and all the interests in North Dakota. Boy, we also have a lot of national interests here. There's people here. It's crazy how I've been coming to these things for 13 years, and there's so many people here. I have no idea who they are today.
North Dakota is such a spearhead of economic development and energy in the entire country, and globally actually is what we're at right now. Going from where we were in 2001, 2002 with maybe 100 people here, to walking into the conference now and listening to the speakers and the buzz that's going on and seeing all the different pieces that come together. What an incredible testament to what is going on in western North Dakota and North Dakota as a whole. Those different pieces, it does take all the pieces to fit together to make the puzzle and make this economic engine work.
Well, I think you're right, and one of the most encouraging things today, I've been sitting in listening. We've had the mayor of Williston on. We just had the city administrator from Dickinson, the superintendent from Watford City. There's a real sense of optimism in what they're seeing. In this 18 months of nice weather that we've had, we are seeing so much infrastructure come into place. And I think that there's somewhat of a settling. The operators are moving from the exploration end of the business now into production and maintenance development. And so they're beginning to really see some positive things in their communities. And I think we're beginning to climb up that hill that we've talked about that's going to take a few years. There's a lot of infrastructure challenges, but the city administrator from Dickinson just said that Williston is the number one highest economy of any city in America.
It is. It truly
Dickinson's 4, Minot's 8. So we got 3 cities in western North Dakota in the top 3 economies in the U.S.
And who would have thought that 20 years ago?
And of course that brings challenges, and it does create a lot of challenges. But these people are very optimistic, and there's a whole new sense here this week. I think that they're really beginning to see some positives.
When I was in Chicago at a gathering, Jack Ekstrom, VP of Whiting, was there, and one of the questions that came from the audience is, we would like to get involved in the oil industry out in North Dakota. What should I do? And Jack simply said, become part of associations, get involved, be part of the answers, be part of the solutions, get out there. So when I take a look at the list that's here, my wife, before I took off this morning over here, she went through and saw the speakers and the people that you have on the agenda, and she said, this is really big stuff. How do you choose the speakers?
Well, I appreciate that. We've got, I believe, 42 speakers in essentially a day and a half, and we were jamming and ramming them through. And of course, we've got our policymakers, our leaders of the state of North Dakota are all here, and all talking. Candidates are here; they're talking about their platform and their issues. But I think it's very important. We've got a balance of policymakers here to talk about what can industry do to help these communities. That's what I'm asking these speakers to come here and talk about. Express to everyone the challenges you're facing, but what are also the 2 things that industry can do to help in your community. And then tomorrow we're going to move a little bit more into technology, because the technology is really the key to the Bakken. how can we get more oil out of the ground? We're going to talk about what's next. What's the secondary recovery method? That's going to be the next thing on the brain of the Bakken CEOs. How do we get more than 6 to 8% of the oil out of every 100 barrels? We're leaving 92 to 94 behind. How do we get another 5 to 10%?
Well, on the technology side, I was fortunate to be able to view Oxy's new building, and inside they have a control room. When you talk about the technology, where they can see what's going on in every well, they can see where each truck is. The efficiencies that they bring, if they can have a truck on the road at the correct time versus 2, cuts down on traffic. So the technology is not only on the fracking side. And the thing I find very interesting is that the person who started Google stated recently that there is more technology being developed in the oil and gas industry than there is in the IT industry.
Well, and where's the hottest spot for the oil and gas industry in the world right now? We're sitting in it, and we are advancing the technology for the world in terms of energy development. And you're right, that technology's getting to lead to fewer trucks, and you know, we've seen the rig count drop a little bit. Well, that's part of a right sizing for industry. You're going to be able to do more with less. You're going to try and drive down your costs. You're going to create a business that's more efficient. And as you get your leasehold covered, then you can begin to move into multi-well pads. You can have 40 wells on these pads. You drill those wells. You walk the rig over. You drill another well. You walk the rig over. You come in. You frack all 4 wells at one time. That takes less people on that end of the business, but it takes more people on the production and the maintenance side. So people are beginning to have to transition some of these jobs into a now a skilled job. Those are the people that are going to be here forever.
Real quickly here, we're inside the Bakken Energy Service. We're seeing 2 areas: drilling side, and then what you do after it's done, the maintenance side. Can you talk about that real quickly?
Well, and that's the drilling side is more of a transient nature of employees. These people follow drilling rigs. They're like the people that come in after storms and shingle your house. They follow the storms. They follow the drilling rig. The maintenance people are the janitors that have to show up for work every day and clean the building and clean the house. These people show up at each of these new Bakken wells and they get it started. They operate it. They maintain it.
Replace the O-rings. Make sure it's ongoing.
And those are the long-term residents for a lot of these communities.
Absolutely.
In North Dakota as
And
well.
that's I wanted to bring that up because the long-term aspect of this is huge. And the rigs come and go, which we understand, but the amount of steady jobs that are going to be out there to take care of these massive amount of wells, to me, brings incredible security to this industry.
And there's a training component that's going to need to go with those people, because from now, this point, up to this point, to be able to show up, you can work hard, be drug-free, you can go to work and find a high-paid job. But now we're going to need to have some type of a training that we're talking.
Who's going to fix the flow meter?
Exactly. Ron, quickly, we're up against the break, but what's the biggest message coming out of this conference, and what's the biggest vision moving forward?
Well, I think the biggest vision is from the governor and the legislators this morning, that everybody understands that we have to focus our resources, get more money back to these towns, more money back to these cities, more money back to these schools, so they can begin to make the long-term investments. Up to now, everybody's still been a little uncertain what's going to be next. Is it here to stay? Is it not here to stay? The legislature's coming to town, and I think we heard today a very clear commitment from the governor and the legislators that we're going to make massive investments in infrastructure in western North Dakota and likely across North Dakota.
And that's something a lot of residents in western North Dakota are very happy to hear as well. Ron Ness, President of the North Dakota Petroleum Council. Ron, thanks for spending some time with us this afternoon.
Thanks for being here, guys.
It's What's in Your Mind.